What's up, everybody? Today is June 4th, and you know what that is. That's a big day for gamers. That usually means E3 is starting. And today, it's pretty much all of the press conferences. And the first one to go was Microsoft. So what I'm going to be doing is giving you your impressions, or my impressions pretty much, of what they displayed and what went on. I'm going to have in the description most of the links, most of the videos. Sometimes I'll put videos, like if I can, I'll put a video of a demo or something down in the right hand corner of this video. But other than that, everything else will be in the description. And also, if you want to skip to a specific game, that'll be in the description as well with what time it comes out in this video. So anyway, let's get started with the Microsoft press conference. So the Microsoft press conference started off with Halo 4. It was the first thing that they showed. They dimmed the lights, and then they played some gameplay from Halo 4. I think it was like 4 or 6 minutes long, maybe, in that time range. It looks fantastic. It started off with Chief, and he's on a desolate planet. And pretty much, he looks up in the sky, and this gigantic ship falls down, and he's talking to Cortana. He's basically like, hey, I need to go find that ship. She's like, waypoint added. And then this other big ship, this gigantic orb thing, just like shoots off after it. And he's like, well, I guess I know what they're after. So he starts going through the jungle, which kind of has like a reminiscent Crisis 3 feel or something like that because of the jungle feel, or kind of like an early Halo 3 at the beginning of that. And so pretty much he goes through, he finds some elites, you know, just normal Covenant. But the good thing is that he starts off, the first weapon that he pulls out is a battle rifle. And it's got 36 clips in it, which just, you know, just like the original battle rifle. Or the first one, it was either 36 or 32. I can't remember which. But, yeah, he pulls out the battle rifle. It works exactly like it. Another thing, he pulls out the assault rifle after that, and it looks exactly like the assault rifle from Halo 3, which I'm actually glad about, because I was like, man, I really hope that they don't use the Halo Reach one, because that wouldn't make any sense, like, timeline-wise. So I'm glad that they did that. And he eventually gets across these other alien things that he figures out are, like, forerunners, because he basically, he kills one of them, and then he picks up a weapon, which is like this gigantic sort of sniper rifle looking thing. And Cortana says, hey, I recognize this, it's Forerunner. And then at the end of the trailer it says, you know, an ancient evil is awakening. So it's pretty safe to say that those things at the end of the game, or pretty much of Halo 3, are coming back. You know, Forerunners are just going to be making their big sort of destroy all humans sort of thing. So that was pretty much it for Halo 4, but it was a great kickoff for Microsoft. It got everyone really excited to see what was going to happen next. After that, Microsoft really blew everyone away with the new Splinter Cell game called Splinter Cell Blacklist. They showed off some gameplay, and it looks absolutely amazing. It was just one of the biggest surprises that I was just not expecting, another Splinter Cell. And it actually shows up in, I think, let's see, it shows up in the EA one as well? No. The Ubisoft. Yeah, it shows up in the Ubisoft one as well. And it was just really impressive looking. Just a whole nother, like, sort of twist on the entire sort of game. After that, they did a whole, like, sports section, which pretty much had to do with Madden 13 and FIFA 13, and basically explaining that they were both better with Kinect. After that, they went on to Gears of War Judgment, which is coming out in 2013, and it has to do with a sort of Gears of War early prequel, I guess you would say. It follows Cole, Baird, and two other people whose names I don't remember right now. But it follows both of them in a sort of before E-Day situation where everyone's being persecuted and, like, thrown in jail and stuff, and I guess it will explain how Marcus ended up in jail and be able to sort of pick up where Gears of War 1 started. You know, it'll sort of explain how that happened, like how Marcus got in jail. After that, they showed off some Forza Horizon footage. It was basically a trailer. It comes out in October. It's not a Forza Motorsport per se. It's more of like a open world sort of game, race game. And I don't know really what else to say other than that. It's pretty much Forza Motorsport, just open world, which is cool, I guess, if you're like a big race fan and big cars person. After that, they showed off a better way to use Kinect. It's easier to use Bing to find movies and stuff. They also showed off that it works in a lot of different other languages. And then they went on for more Xbox content, like ESPN, ESPN1, ESPN2, 3, and ESPNU, I think. And it's just, they pretty much just explained that, a bunch of other stuff is going to come to Xbox, like Nickelodeon, just other channels and other apps that you can download for your Xbox. After that, they did Nike Plus Kinect training, which is basically a way bigger fitness sort of thing. Like, it tracks everything that you could ever possibly want. It tries to push you to work out better. And yeah, Nike Plus training, I assume, is going to be free. Probably nothing that you have to download or not download but buy. And I don't know. I mean, it'll be good for people that want to work out and get off their ass when they're playing Xbox. After that, they did Xbox Smart Glass, which is pretty much a big connection of everything to your Xbox, to your phone, connect all of that stuff. He said that it doesn't really matter what you have, it will connect it all. Like he said, it'll connect with your Xbox that you already own, your phone that you already own, your TV you already own, your computer that you already own. It'll all match that up. And I'm interested to see how that's going to work out, seeing as how I'm on a Mac, not a Microsoft PC. So, yeah. And then they kind of figured, what can we do with Xbox Smart Glass with tablets? How can we integrate that into games? And it pretty much came off as this big Wii U, screen controller touchpad sort of thing. I just made a connection. I was like, oh, it's just like the Wii U. Great. But, other than that, Smart Glass is pretty cool. And then they showed off some Tomb Raider footage, which was awesome. I mean, it looks a lot like Uncharted 3, and that's not saying that's not a bad thing at all. That's actually a really good thing because, Uncharted 3 is amazing. But it was how do I explain it? It was, it was pretty much Uncharted 3. Again, I'll put, gameplay footage up on this video if I can, or if not, I'll put a link to it. But it was a really good gameplay footage moment. And I'm kind of at a loss for words because I'm not really sure how to explain it. But it was just, it got me excited for the game. And I guess, really and honestly, that's what it was supposed to do. That's what it was made to do. So I was really impressed. And then they came off with this teaser trailer sort of thing for Ascend New Gods. I have no idea what this game is about, nor was I I could not even follow the trailer at all because I was just like, what the hell is going on here? But it kind of had this cartoony style, not some other games that are coming up, but I don't know, it had this God of War feel, but it was more cartoony, and it was, I'm not really sure how to explain it. If I find gameplay footage or a trailer, which I'm sure I will, I'll put it on this video. And then they had another teaser trailer for a game called Loco Cycle. I have no idea what that's about either. It was pretty much a bunch of, shots panning of this motorcycle and explaining this is the most badass motorcycle ever conceived by man. And, all other sorts of stuff like that. And then it goes, bam, Loco Cycle. And I'm like, what the? So then there was that. And then after that, they had another teaser trailer. Yeah, lots of teaser trailers. For a game called Matter. What that is, is it starts off by saying, "Bam, director of or whatever of Pirates of the Caribbean, the creative minds behind Pirates of the Caribbean, blah." And then it goes into this little orb that's floating above the ocean, and it's like flying towards this big civilization, which kind of looks like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen or played Assassin's Creed Revelations, but it's kind of like the Animus, or I guess Mass Effect 3 would be a better example. It's kind of like the digital world inside the Geth land. For most of the people that have played Mass Effect 3, they'll get it, but like when you infiltrate the Geth, and these are not spoilers, by the way, but when you go into like the Geth sort of power grid, that land, it's pretty much flying towards that, and there's a blue and an orange one, and they like put out their little stick things, and then they like get really close to it. This might sound really, really weird, but it's what the trailer was about. So I have no idea what this game is about, but it looks really, really interesting. And then after that, they showed some Resident Evil 6 gameplay, which I can honestly say, whoa, like way over the top for a Resident Evil 6 game. Like, I was not expecting. Basically, it starts off, he's like, we've got to get out of here. And they're getting chased by zombies, and he's shooting a bunch of them, and then he gets into like this big explosion, and he's running away from this explosion avalanche that's just like throwing cars up into the air. And at first I was just like, damn, this is way too packed for like a freaking Resident Evil game. And then they get into a helicopter, and then the pilot turns into a zombie. They crash into buildings. They hit a train. Fuck, I mean, like, after that, it was like, okay, this is way too crazy. And it still got me excited for it, you know. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not really Resident Evil, if you ask me. And then after that, they showed Racketeer, which in my mind isn't really worth mentioning, but, you know, Racketeer is basically a Kinect game for kids where you just control this cannonball and you destroy crap with it. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a kids game, but it was on the list. Then after that, they brought out Matt Stone and Trey Parker for the South Park, The Stick of Truth, and they basically showed a trailer. And I don't know if it was gameplay footage at all in there. It might have been, because, you know, they tried to make the gameplay actually look like an episode of South Park, and if they did, bravo, because that was, you know, really impressive. But basically the biggest thing was they were talking about, like, in the trailer, they're, you know, Stan and Kyle and Cartman and Kenny were all talking. They're like, yeah, we need to find a new hero. Kyle's like, I'll do it, and Cartman's like, Jews can't be heroes. So he's like, what about the new kid? And basically that sets up for, you can create your own South Park character, and the game stars you. You are the main character, and you're the new kid. And so that's kind of cool. After that, they did Dance Central 3, which honestly everyone was expecting. If I don't really need to explain Dance Central 3, it's kind of, if you've seen Dance Central 2, you've seen Dance Central 3. It's just new songs. And then after that, they did Call of Duty Black Ops 2 gameplay. And honestly, I can say I'm pretty impressed. You know, I was skeptical about the whole Black Ops 2 thing. Definitely looks great. Definitely one of those games that, you know, is pushing its boundaries a bit, because, you know, Call of Duty was so set in stone after Modern Warfare 1, and now it's pushing its boundaries. Well, I mean, Treyarch is. And how that's going to turn out, I'm not really sure. But from what I've seen so far, looks really, really good. So that was the Microsoft 2012 E3 press conference. Join me for the next 2 or 3 videos where I do EA, Ubisoft, and shit, what's the last one? Sony. So, and Nintendo, by the way. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.